Hello, my name is Danielle and I'm an occupational therapist here at St Anne's. The model we have used throughout this course is the breathing, thinking and functioning model, which looks at how each of the three areas can affect your breathing and includes different techniques to manage your breathing. Today, we are going to look at the thinking area. The way you think can affect your breathing, and this cycle shows that feeling breathless can lead to unhelpful thoughts such as focusing on that breathless sensation, thoughts about dying, and thinking about previous situations when you were breathless. These thoughts can make you feel more anxious, distressed, and panicky, which in turn will make you even more breathless. And you can see we have this vicious cycle occurring. Almost all breathless patients have felt this sense of panic at some point. What's important to note here is that feeling breathless or even seeing someone breathless can be unpleasant or frightening. Your past experiences of being breathless can affect your current symptoms. You might not be able to change what's going on in your body with your condition, but you can try and change the way you think or feel about breathlessness. Today, we'll be discussing leaflet 5 in your pack, which is called Thinking, Managing Thoughts About Breathlessness. This is a really good leaflet to read if you want to recap on this session as well. When we exert ourselves, it's normal to feel breathless, but it's also a common symptom in long-term conditions such as COPD, heart failure, and cancer. Sudden shortness of breath can trigger a fight-flight response as the brain detects there's something wrong. This can be useful in certain dangerous situations, for example, crossing a road when a car is coming. The fight-flight response helps us get out of the way. So you can see, some anxieties are useful. However, there are times when this response is less useful, and this can occur when you feel breathless. Feeling breathless can lead to anxiety, and when we feel anxious, our brain is alerted and we produce adrenaline, which is then released into the muscles. You might experience some physical changes. And if you take a few moments to look at the slide, you could see if any of these apply to you. You might feel your muscles tense, your heart might beat faster, you might get chest pains, dizziness, dry mouth, and your breathing might become even more difficult. You might also have thoughts such as imagining the worst or worrying that you're going mad. You might struggle with your concentration, have sleep problems, or become irritable. Eventually, it can lead to a cycle of something we call anxiety avoidance, whereby you end up avoiding situations that make you feel anxious. For example, if you had an anxiety attack one time when you walked to the toilet, your memory of that situation won't be pleasant. And this could cause you to avoid drinking so that you don't need to go to the toilet as much. However, this isn't helpful as you become less fit, dehydrated, and you don't learn how to manage your anxiety, only to avoid it. When anxiety affects your life to the extent that you're avoiding things or situations, it's helpful to try and change the way you think and feel about your breathlessness. Talking through your thoughts can help you understand how your body responds, which can then help you to manage your breathlessness. Let's look at some common misconceptions about breathlessness, and we'll try and challenge these by me showing you different explanations. You might think you need more oxygen, but breathlessness is not always related to the level of oxygen in your blood, and oxygen does not always relieve your shortness of breath. Try using a fan when you're at home and practice relaxed tummy breathing, which is talked about more in the breathing video. You might also feel like you're going to pass out or faint. If you become extremely breathless, you tend to breathe quicker and take more shallow breaths. This is a very inefficient way of breathing and can make you feel lightheaded. If you practice your relaxed tummy breathing, this can help. You might feel like you're going to have a stroke or heart attack. This is likely due to the fight-flight response I've just talked about, which can cause tightness in your chest and your heart to beat faster. These common thoughts are often untrue, but can feel very real. Understanding the body's response to breathlessness can help to take away these worrying thoughts. I'm going to talk some techniques you could use to control your anxiety. I'm sure a lot of you have got your own coping strategies that work for you. It's useful to have a toolkit of techniques for you to use when you feel anxious. Here are a few you might want to try. Recognise what triggers your anxiety. Maybe write these down and then you'll be better prepared with your techniques ready to use in those situations. Reflect on any anxious situations you've been in. Think about how you felt. What physical symptoms did you have? How did you behave? What could you have done differently? Talk to others, for example, family, your GP, or a key worker. Expressing how you feel to others might help you get things off your chest. Try relaxation, for example, visualization, letting go of your thoughts, or relaxing your body in a controlled way. Leaflet 6 in your pack is all about relaxation, so have a read and you could learn some useful tips. There's also a CD for you to listen to in the back of your Macmillan booklet we sent out, which has a few relaxation examples in, so maybe try those too. You could also have a look on YouTube for more examples. Maybe try and find one that works best for you. Try not to worry about the future. Concentrate on the now. This is called mindfulness and could reduce the amount of stress you're feeling. Leaflet 7 in your pack describes it in more detail. It could be focusing your mind on something that makes you happy. For example, looking at a picture of your family or a beach. Worrying triggers an anxiety response, and by looking at a special photograph, this should help avoid this anxiety response. Distracting yourself could also help when you're feeling anxious. Find what works for you. It could be keeping busy, listening to music, a favourite hobby, or even watching the TV. Having an action plan can be helpful to refer to when you're breathless, particularly if you do get these feelings of panic. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just a few basic simple prompts and having them written on a card is really useful for your toolkit. For example, tell yourself you've had this feeling before and it will go away soon. Lean forward and use your fan. Flop or drop your shoulders. Focus on gently breathing out. Say to yourself, I can do this. I am doing it now. I don't need to be frightened. I am okay. It just reminds you that you've had these feelings before and you did recover. So it helps to break the cycle of breathlessness and anxiety. Positive self-talk is a great way of getting rid of those negative thoughts that add to your anxiety. If you write them on a card, remember to share it with others too, so they know these techniques as well and can help you. I've mentioned about having a toolkit of techniques to use during times when you feel anxious. These might include rectangle breathing, which is where you focus on something in the room which is rectangle shaped. Follow the shape with your eyes and breathe in on the short side and out on the long side. This helps to slow your breathing down. There's a breathing video in this series that discusses this in more detail, and if you want to look at leaflet 3 in your pack, this shows you also. Positions of ease. So for example, leaning forward in a chair or leaning against something stood up. These positions will help you breathe more easily, and leaflet 4 in your pack will also show you some pictures as well. Use of a fan, and remember to have it 6 inches from your face to help with airflow. Leaflet 2 in your pack will also describe the technique. Use of equipment, for example, a stool to sit on or a bath board when you're showering can help to save energy and reduce breathlessness. Conserving your energy can help you to do what you want to or have to do during your day. And these last 2 points are talked about more in the functioning video. It's important that you practice these techniques when you're not feeling breathless, so that when you do feel breathless or anxious, you've got them ready to use. In your pack, there's a leaflet on the breathing, thinking, functioning approach, and on this leaflet you'll find a link to 4 short videos that St Christopher's Hospice has produced. The link is at the bottom of the page. They are only about 4 minutes long, but are really useful to watch, so maybe with your family, watch them too, as they will then understand. If you watch videos 3 and 4, they will support the information we have discussed in this session. So, to summarise, being breathless can make you want to be less active, as it's an unpleasant feeling. But the less you do, the less fit you are, and the more breathless you'll become when you do move. We can't stop you from getting breathless, but we can help you to learn how to control your breathlessness when you're active, so that you can still do the things you want to and have to do. Managing your thinking is just one way to help you manage your breathlessness. Thanks for watching and take care.